Welcome back to Alpha Mama 2022. We are up to episode 16. Alpha Mama is really excited to have you all on board for this episode. Today, the topic we are going to be looking at is self-discipline. So we're up to self-discipline. Now, who is Alpha Mama and what are we all about? So let me just get there and we are here. Sorry, bear with me. Alpha Mama brings you the lowdown on books that change your lives in the self-development space. We do the reading and research so you can sit back, listen, and take the steps to live your best life and move towards a grounded life that reflects your authentic self. Growing up, I didn't feel like I had a lot of great guidance in my life. The lack of guidance in my own life led me to make choices that accumulated in me hitting rock bottom by the age of 30. I felt like I had no one to turn to, and that is when I turned to books and researching how to live my best life. Fast forward a decade and I have experienced total transformation. At Alpha Mama, we believe it doesn't matter who you are or where you come from. The only thing that you need to succeed at your life is the belief that you can and the commitment to carry through with backing yourself. So welcome back to our show. It's been a few weeks. Alpha Mama's had a little bit of a break from the podcast, and for good reason. When I say a decade on, I actually turned 40 just a couple of weeks ago, and part of that journey, my son turned 13. I recently got engaged. My business is moving from a home-based business into a retail shop in the local area that we live in. And so basically, and then we went away for a couple of weeks over the school holidays to relax and enjoy some sunshine and enjoy turning 40 in style. So a lot of change has been happening. As I mentioned just now, I just got engaged as well. So it's just been a big few weeks for us. And as you can imagine, Alpha Mama podcast has had to accommodate some of those massive life changes. However, on that note, I have relished and loved reading or taking the time over the last few weeks to absorb completely the book that we're going to be covering today. And I'm really excited to share this book with you. It's not anything particularly, out there or anything like that. It's a stock standard discipline book. So it's called Self-Discipline, Develop Daily Habits to Program Your Mind, Build Mental Toughness, Self-Confidence and Willpower by Ray Vaden. Now, I had a look at this author. So there are a number of books written by Ray Vaden. There's Mental Toughness, Anger Management, this Self-Discipline book, and then they've got some versions in Espanol. Unfortunately, what I could not locate is any information about the author themselves at all. It seems to be that this is a very mysterious author that likes to keep their privacy. Maybe it's a pen name, I have no idea. But in terms of authority, whether we should be listening to anything they say, look, I couldn't tell you. What I can say though is that the book focuses on information that has been shown through university studies and researchers that are verified. And as you know, if you follow along on this program, basically we do so creating a vision, how to get there, self-discipline, and then finally we look at financial resources or abundance mindset, whichever is required. So this week we are doing self-discipline. And the thing is, there has been a lot of stuff going on in my life, right? And there are some projects that I'm really keen to stick with and achieve. One in particular in my 40th year is I would like to run a marathon. Now, when we were on holidays, we had the opportunity, because we're with Surf Lifesaving Victoria, we're involved with them. We had the opportunity to do all this beach training with professional Ironmen and Ironwomen, which was, as you can imagine, like, this is my favourite topic, which is why I do this podcast. So I was in like achievement heaven with these amazing pro athletes and just kind of trying to absorb and take in everything that they had to share and offer in terms of how to cultivate a positive mindset, how to stay the course and do the self-discipline day in, day out to get where you need to get. And you know, one of the guys that I spoke to, you know, said to me, look, the people who win Iron championships are because they commit 100%. They make the sacrifices, they show up every day, they do the training every single day, and they make that a priority in their life. And that is how they're able to succeed at winning these goals. But then, you know, of course, for most of us normal layman people, we go, hang on, how do you stay motivated? How do you stay on track? So this book promises, Ray Vaden's self-discipline book promises some tips, tools and strategies on how to cultivate self-discipline in your life, how to create a burning desire and passion that will motivate you day in and day out until you achieve your goals. And I love it. And I found that I just wanted to take my time with this book, really absorb each and every detail that it had to offer, and take some really comprehensive notes. So let's start with some key points. So what are 10 key qualities of a disciplined high achiever according to the Ray Vaden self-discipline book? 10 key qualities of a high achiever include: 1, strong, well-defined sense of purpose. Self-disciplined person knows exactly what he or she wants and will sacrifice anything to get it. 2, seeks out and uses positive role models, also known as mentors. So watching people who have already achieved what you want to achieve and then following their pathway and following in their footsteps, or getting guidance from people in real life. 3, strength of his or her imagination. Self-disciplined people use a goal-setting technique called sensory vision. So focusing on why not instead of why. Having a deep sensory vision of success is key. 4th quality is a positive, sensitive orientation. So achievers dwell on their own past accomplishments and positive wins. They never lose sight of their goal and they never stop until they achieve it. They don't know the meaning of the word failure. If you're convinced you can't do something, you won't be able to do it. So they're really focused on, well, what did I do well? How can I improve? How will I get there? Number 5, self-assurance. The self-disciplined have a strong gut level belief in themselves and their ability to succeed that is truly unshakable. Deep down in their hearts, they know that they can do it and no one can convince them otherwise. Number 6, okay, the self-disciplined achiever knows how to take their goal and break down what they need to do to achieve it. So they have the ability to create a plan and to organize themselves. So, and then setting priorities and breaking it down into smaller things. Number 7, getting help. They are committed to learning what must be learned in order to make a goal achievable. They don't believe in shortcuts. They do what they need to do the job well. Number 8, patience. Time becomes immaterial to those pursuing a goal. Someone self-disciplined does not worry about time, about the amount of time that it will take. They are working towards their goal, and that's what matters. Number 9, persistence. They have what it takes to stick to their vision and see it through day in and day out, and they never give up despite hardships, setbacks, other people's opinions of them. They are relentless in the pursuit of their dreams and goals. And then finally, number 10, the ability to experience pleasure while working towards his or her vision. These people are excited about their goals and become easily engrossed in the work it takes to get there. So, that is his rundown list of basic qualities. Now, let's get into what are the tips, strategies, and secrets of how to become a self-disciplined force of nature in your own life towards achieving your own goals in life. And this is what I really love. So, what motivates high achievers? So, let's go through some of the notes I've got here. Basically, you have to be really good at having a strong image of where you're going and what success looks like. You need to be a bit of a visionary in your life, according to this book. And, you know, it's like that saying, they wanted it so bad they could taste it. You know, the self-disciplined achiever becomes obsessed with achieving their goal. So they begin the journey. The successful self-disciplined achiever asks themselves, if I can have whatever I want, what is my purpose? When they've worked out their purpose, they use their imagination to develop a sensory-rich image that will evoke an emotion so strong that they'll be driven to bring it to action. And then when they've achieved the goal, they'll use their vision to create new goals. I think this is really an important aspect in terms of the self-disciplined achiever. We live in a society that often encourages us to cut off from our emotions. And I think that we're evolving a lot from that space. But it's interesting because what I'm learning more and more when I go down this journey of like self-discipline and achievement and wanting success in my own life is that it's not about cutting off your emotions. It's really about becoming the master of your emotions. And we're, at the end of the day, we are all human, irrational, emotive creatures. And the thing that drives us all, which is what advertisers have been onto for years and years, is desire, emotion. Our desire driven by our human needs, like needing to be seen, needing to be heard, needing to be loved, needing to be felt or acknowledged or valued, you know, all these sorts of core human needs are what drive our success in a way in our lives. And if you can master those, that's such, such an amazing achievement for anyone. And so really, I do believe in that saying, you know, the goal is self-discipline. Self-discipline is the goal. Because at the end of the day, if you can master those emotions, then really, and use them to your advantage, then you can really drive yourself in it to achieve anything you put your mind to in your life. So, in the book, it suggests 7 key steps to self-discipline. So, first step is to have a purpose, create a purpose, define the cause that you can wholeheartedly devote your time to, resources and attention. This cause points you in a direction, it gives you a reason to get out of bed in the morning. Second step, find role models who have already achieved what you want to achieve. Study their life patterns, methods and techniques. They are normal people like you, but with self-discipline. Start feeling those emotions of desire. Step 3, translate your desire into a sensory-rich vision of success. Touch, taste, sight, sound in front of you. So you know you can do it. So you need to 100% believe in yourself and create a sensory-rich snapshot. And if you've ever gotten involved with NLP, that's really how NLP works. Step 4, an all-encompassing passion and emotion. Motion is the root word for emotion. So having emotion as a driving force behind your goal setting. 5, planning. Through effective planning, you can plan out the steps you need to take to turn your vision into a reality. You will figure out exactly what you need to accomplish your goal. Step 6 is to acquire the skills to make your plan a success. And again, if you don't have the skills yourself, then you may need a team. You can find a team around you that will help you achieve success that you seek. Okay, step 7, persistence and perseverance. Persistence is staying with your vision no matter what, and persevering despite any setbacks that you may find. I just love this book. So it then goes into the 4-point exercise on how to find your purpose. Okay, so it talks about a macro purpose being the big idea in your life or the main purpose, your main desire, but then also the micro purpose. So all the steps you need to get there. So it's really about breaking things down. So point 1, our 4-point process, limitless wishing. Close your eyes and imagine you're on a beach walking along the sand. A soft breeze is keeping you cool and you are enjoying the waves splashing rhythmically along the shore. As you stroll along the water's edge, you see an object in the distance that's half buried in the sand. The waves splash up over its surface, leaving it exposed in your curious eye. You hasten towards it to see what is before you. In a couple of minutes, you're standing over it and you're still not sure what it is. So you pick it up and you start cleaning the sand off it. All of a sudden, all this smoke comes out, and lo and behold, it's a genie in a lamp, and you've just freed them from thousands of years of entrapment in this little lamp. And the genie is so happy that he's been liberated by you. He offers you 5 wishes. You can have anything you want as long as it's specific and humanly possible to achieve. And you need to write it down in present tense, starting with I want. So what are your 5 wishes that you want that are achievable? Now, this is what I put. So I put down 5. I want health, fitness of a professional athlete so that I feel amazing and self-disciplined. I want amazing relationships that include a loving husband, beautiful children, and loving family connections and friends to share my life with. I want to independently earn enough money through my contribution to society that I never have to worry about money or finances again. I want to be extremely successful businesswoman that inspires women everywhere to embrace their power, find their purpose, and follow their personal dreams. And I want to be an innovation leader. I want to achieve greatness by completely transforming the landscape to reflect humanism, love, humanity, empowerment, sustainability, wholeness, and vulnerability as strength. Big ambitions, people. Okay, point 2, wishful imagining. Close your eyes again and imagine that your first wish has come true. Imagine that what your life looks like now. What kind of clothes would you wear? People would you be hanging out with? House would you be living in? What are you eating for breakfast and dinner? Maybe you have a private swimming pool, new career, or new friends. Imagine you're having dinner and drinks with your best friend and you're explaining how your new life feels. This is a friend you can trust completely and you can say anything to. Imagine what you look like. Are you younger, thinner, better dressed? Is your friend looking envious? Picture every single detail, including the season, the place, the restaurant, and the glasses on the table. And then basically repeat that for each of the 5 wishes you wrote down. So the first step was to imagine what it felt like to have that achieved already. And then the second one is imagine telling your best friend about it. Okay, so do that for each one. Fantastic. Then step 3, creative biography. So when amazing people pass away, they leave a legacy and people write their biography or eulogy. What do you value above all else? What would you like to be remembered for? Open a history book and turn to the first letter of your last name. You find your entry. It's a brief summary of your life and your greatest achievements. What does it say? I know this stuff's so good and powerful, isn't it? Okay. Now, point 4. What do I deep in my heart really want to do? What is my purpose in life? You now write down the statement of your purpose. First, write down a statement of purpose for another. For example, I would like to use all of my strength, intelligence, resources to secure liberty, freedom for all of my colonists. And that was George Washington's statement. Or Amelia Earhart. When I grow up, I'm going to have adventures and show the world that women can be as heroic as men. Okay, so there are some examples. Now, role models. So basically, once you've sort of developed a purpose, the next step is to start looking for some role models. How do you find mentors in your life? So it suggests there are sort of 2 main ways that people find mentors in their life. First, directly, and then second, indirectly. So indirect mentors might be through autobiographies, magazines, articles, inspirational films or TV shows. And then asking yourself, from what you've seen or read, who inspired you the most? Who did you admire? What did you feel a resonance with? Was it a fictional character? Do you greatly admire or wish that you could be like someone that you've seen on TV or read in a book? And then the second mode is directly. So it suggests networking, do you have anyone in your life that you see as a mentor in your life and that inspires you? Or could you engage in more networking and find those people in your life? So they're all some interesting ideas. Next, it talks about role playing. So with finding those mentors, look and listen to how they behave and what they do, and then start role playing that. Imagine you've already succeeded. How would you be behaving? How would you talk? What sort of language would you be using? So I love all this sort of fun around creating this vision in your life. It then goes on to talk about vision for success. So what is a vision for success? A clear, rich, highly detailed mental picture of what you want to achieve and the rewards you will experience once you've achieved it. When this vision is linked to your purpose and a strong sense of possibility, it will, like a hot branding iron, burn itself deep into your skin. Not only will you become obsessed with this vision, but you will also develop a sense of deep belief in your ability to achieve it. And so the book goes through a 4-step process for transforming your purpose into a sensory-rich goal. So first, the first step is to write your sensory goal statement. So I did for the marathon. So it's May 2023. I will run a 47-kilometre marathon in under 5 hours at Wilson's Prom and be classed as an elite athlete. So he sort of says you need to be with your sensory goal really, really specific. So an example is it must be result oriented. It must primarily be focused on what you want to get out of your achievement. It must be time specific. You must determine a time frame from which it will be achieved. And then finally, it must be measurable, a specific criteria that will tell you when your goal has been achieved or completed. So an example they use is, I want to help cure disease. Your sensory goal statement might read like, if that was your purpose, your sensory goal statement might be, in June of next year, I will achieve a medical degree. Okay, so step 2. The next step is to create a vision of achievement. So basically you can do this by finding photographs, images in magazines that show people living, experiencing and achieving your vision. Okay, so if your vision was to run a marathon, you might take photocopies from newspaper clippings of people who have won marathons, or go to Runner's World and so forth. The purpose of this exercise is to create a concrete image of your desired achievement so that you can visualize yourself achieving the goal. If you can see it, you can believe it, you can achieve it. Creating a vision achievement scrapbook that is tailored to you can have a powerful effect on your motivation and drive. Step 3, make a list of all the advantages and rewards you will experience as a result of your achieving your goal. So close your eyes for a few minutes and imagine you have already achieved your goal. How is your life different because of it? What recognition have you achieved? Has it made a difference with your family and friends? Has it made an impact on other areas of your life? Are you getting up at the same time in the morning, driving the same car to work? Are you going out more or less in the evenings? Do you wear different clothes? Write down every single outcome you can think of from the achievement of your goal, and then be as specific as possible. Finally, step 4, sensory vision snapshot. Now draw a picture of what you will feel like, what you will see, what you can hear, feel, taste and smell. Record your sensory vision snapshot in your own words. Take a few moments each day to visualize your vision. Record your vision over again every 2 weeks. Oh, and so this is what it said, which I started doing this with the marathon. So to create the picture and then record it. So I just use voice recorder on my phone, and then every morning play that sensory vision snapshot to yourself in your own words. Hear yourself and the excitement in your voice of you reflecting on that moment that you achieved your goal, what you're going to feel like, where you are, what's happening, the exact moment in time that it's achieved. What are you going through in your mind? I think it's a really powerful technique. And then it also suggests listening to it again at night. So next, action plan. Planning is the logical mapping out of where you want to go and how you're going to get there. Planning is going to help you save time. So visual network plan. So it's really important to have belief in yourself. And then there are 5 steps of vital steps of a self-discipline achiever that will help you never lose sight of your goal. So number 1, rekindle and revisit your purpose every single day. Remind yourself daily of the rewards and benefits that await you when you successfully realize your goal. Step 2, firmly anchor the following attitude deep within your heart and mind. I can achieve anything I set my mind to. Nothing is impossible for me to achieve if I want it badly enough and I'm willing to pay the price for it. I can and will achieve my goal. Step 3, realize that obstacles are going to arise and setbacks are going to occur. Keep in mind that these are actually opportunities to learn. Every obstacle you encounter will make you stronger. So building mental toughness through experience, time and again. Step 4, you may be doing the wrong things for the right reasons. Now's the time to find out. Start experimenting with taking different paths to your destination. But whatever you do, don't quit. Step 5, turn your work into fun. And this is one of my favorite parts of this book. I love it. Make sure that you have to do something that you want to do. Working towards a lifelong goal shouldn't feel like a sacrifice, because the goal is what you want more than anything else. You should be loving every single step of that journey because it's something you deeply desire. And finally, I'm going to leave you on this note of 5 tips the book gives you on how to overcome any setback and turn it into a positive. So, first, never try to ignore a problem or handicap. Deal with your problems directly. Don't avoid them or try to hide from them. When you have a problem, study it from every angle and try and determine the best way to proceed. Second, don't blame other people for your setbacks and don't chalk it up to bad luck. You make your own luck in this life and you have to solve your own problems. Learn to tackle them head on, being realistic as possible and as level-headed as possible. Third, continually strive to strengthen your qualities of self-discipline. Setbacks often occur because of weaknesses in certain areas. Try and turn those weaknesses into strengths. Fourth, in almost every setback, there is a seed of opportunity, a silver lining. Find it and use it. You may find yourself taking a slightly different path to achieving your goal than you first imagined, but you will get there just the same. Take the new path and see where it takes you. And finally, fifth, remember, no matter how insurmountable a problem may appear, there is always a solution. A problem is only a real problem if you think you can't solve it. So, those are the notes from the book Self-Discipline by Ray Vaden, who we know nothing about. He's very mysterious. So if you know anything about the author Ray Vaden, I would love to hear from you. Get in touch, drop us a line. What I can say though is I've found this book really inspiring, and I love the really tangible, practical steps on cultivating and building self-discipline in your life that it offers. So I'll put all the notes from the book into the podcast this week on the website. And next time we are going to be discussing abundance mindset. Thank you again for joining us on the show. I love having you all on board, and we'll catch you next time. Over and out.